of Reborn felt incredibly short. There's not really like a whole lot that happened this episode, so I don't know how long this review is going to be. Overall, I will say that I enjoyed the episode, and I thought it was pretty good. The main thing that I really took from this episode was 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥. This is like her redemption arc, essentially. So there's two main things that this episode set up for me as I'm watching it, right? One, we had 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥's redemption arc, which we knew was going to happen because she's in the OP, and I think she's in the ED as well. And then the second thing that this episode set up was the other two characters, which were 𝐼𝐸 and 𝐒𝐿𝐴, which again, we knew that they were going to be something because they were focused on during the training golem arc thing that happened last episode. We got introduced to them. Essentially, their backstory is 𝐒𝐿𝐴, the girl, is a knight. I called it. And 𝐼𝐸 is her squire. They are both transfer students from another country, so they're exchange students here in the night program, which is very, very weird because, you know, as they enter this night program, they're going to be knights of this country. I find it very interesting, and I hope that they dive into that on how they feel about being knights in this country, because as they're in the night program, right, they're constantly, just like the American Army, right, like they're constantly going over like, oh, it's going to be such an honor to protect and serve our country. You're going to be the knights of the land. You know, you're the knights here. You're going to protect the people, blah, 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 blah. That's an incredibly hard thing to do when you're coming from another country, right? That's like me today being an old man going to, I don't know, pick any country, going to Germany or France or Japan or like some other country and entering into their military service. Now, yeah, I'm going to do my due diligence because I'm going to get paid to do, probably, you know, whatever. But when they come and say, hey, take pride in protecting and serve the people, it becomes a little harder when you don't really have like any ties to my country. As normal service people typically do, they have very strong pride in their country because that's where they were born. Now, it doesn't have to be like that's where their family's from, but if that's where they were born, then you're going to have strong pride in that. So, very interesting thing to hear that they're exchange students here, and I hope that they kind of explore that. Now, I'm going to say that they probably won't. That's just kind of like a personal thing that I would love to see explored because I imagine it's incredibly, again, difficult to be from somewhere else and come here to be in knighthood to serve and protect a country that isn't necessarily your home country. The other thing with 𝐼𝐸 and 𝐒𝐿𝐴 is, again, it seems that 𝐒𝐿𝐴 is really in love with 𝐼𝐸. I don't know if that's reciprocated back. Seems like they were childhood friends kind of thing, but she definitely is like, this is my man kind of thing. And 𝐼𝐸 has his eyes on our girl Chris, our girl Inglis over here, because she is gorgeous and powerful and everything else that, you know. So 𝐒𝐿𝐴 has definitely kind of had like a rivalry with her already, which I thought was really cute. Which I think that 𝐼𝐸 might think that she is beautiful and strong and everything. I don't know if he's thinking about her in that romantic type way. I think he's just like, yo, she's gorgeous and she's just like, I need to get closer to this person. He might not be thinking about it from like, oh, I need to go and like try and date this girl kind of thing. He might just be thinking like, I need to get close to this person. Like, she's awesome, you know? But that's also going to cause some rift between him and 𝐒𝐿𝐴. So I'm going to be interested. I'm going to assume that they're kind of the comedic relief a little bit, but I'm going to be interested to see on how that relationship keeps going. Because at the end of the day, there's a very strong chance that 𝐼𝐸 is in fact in love or loves 𝐒𝐿𝐴 in that way. Everything else that happened this episode, there was a specific test that occurred that the principal did, which she basically used her artifact to open up another dimension, which opened up memories and stuff. Long story short with that is Chris basically blew a hole through the whole entire dimension. She saved 𝐒𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥, she saved Leone, and they got out of there, and Rafi ended up passing, and then that 𝐒𝐿𝐴 girl, she failed the thing. I really love the principal, too. I think the principal is the hottest one in the show. Like, principal's on fire. And she got this, like, sadistic kind of personality. Like, oh, everything I'm looking for. Yeah, I love that. So, overall, good episode. You know, I mean, that's really all that occurred outside of them eating and getting closer and having a little sleepover with 𝐒𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥. Sounds like Leone is going to be moving back in with 𝐒𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥, so that's going to be like kind of their group moving forward. We found out that 𝐒𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥 is the Chancellor's kid, whatever that means. You know, Chancellor's probably pretty high up there in the king to peon ratio, so you know, definitely good hierarchy as far as like kingdom wise goes. So overall, good episode. I would say that it felt really short. Not a lot occurred, so it definitely wasn't like jam-packed. But, from a scale of 1 to 10, still a solid 8 out of 10. I think it was very serviceable, and it was enjoyable to watch. And of course, this episode I listened to the OP, and the OP is incredible. I love the OP. I think it's so good. It's such a bop. So those are kind of my thoughts this episode. So not a whole lot happened, but what did happen gave us good information and gave us good story to kind of push us forward to the next episode and the next kind of like little arc, as we're now in the night training arc, I would call it. So let me know what you guys thought of this episode down in the comments below. What was your favorite thing? Who's best girl so far for you? Or best boy? Who do you think so far? When it comes down to the boys, we only really met Leon and then now Lottie. So very slim pickings there, but regardless, let me know. But then let me know who best girl is as well so far. For me, it's kind of, I really like Rafi, quite a bit, or Ronnie. I keep calling her Rafi, I don't know why. Ronnie or whatever. I really like Ronnie quite a bit. But then the principal's number one for sure. All right, my friends, I'm seeing you guys next week for episode 1, 2, 3, 7. I can count. Peace out.